Ayo, what up, everybody? Coach Chad here, the CEO of the Next Level Coaching Academy. And we got another amazing episode of the Fit CEO podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, I don't really quite know the name of our YouTube channel, but hopefully you're enjoying the content that we're pushing out. So today we got our second episode of a new thing that we are testing. I'm trying to do this like every other week, so like bi-weekly, but I'm just bringing a student on, an NLCA student on, and we're just shooting the shit. They get to ask questions, and it almost can view it as like a one-to-one coaching call. And inside NLCA, we do highly value one-to-one coaching. In all of our programs, our apprenticeship program, our mastery accelerator program, our mastery program, all of them have a very heavy one-to-one call component. So hopefully this gives you a great test of that. Hopefully you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, let's do it. What questions you got for me today?
Okay, so after speaking with the gym that I did the nutrition seminar at last week, I wanted to figure out what the best either discount or payout would be for the gym, whether it meant me giving a discount for all the new clients coming into the gym off of their nutrition coaching, or me giving them a payout for the owners for bringing me the clients without me having to do marketing, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. As I'm pulling up a Google Doc, because we're going to do some math here, which will be fun. Do you want to give the listeners some context in terms of the strategy that you're trying to deploy?
Yeah. So what I have so far established, because this is all brand new, is that I am established at this CrossFit gym. Well, they're not CrossFit anymore, but it's like a CrossFit gym. I have started doing nutrition seminars. I'm going to be doing it periodically every 3 months. And so what they want to do now is incorporate nutrition coaching and offering that as like a orientation onboarding package for all of the new clients coming there, saying, okay, we're going to give you however many one-on-one sessions to kind of get you adept to the type of exercises they do. And then in addition to that, they're able to offer the nutrition aspect, which is going to go through me. And so it's what kind of discount can I give considering I'm saving time and money on marketing? It's not like I'm paying a DMer to go find these people, but also like not kill my margins.
No, 100%. And for the listeners, this is just basically like an affiliate strategy where Kim is hooking up with a business that's going to feed her leads. And like she said, she doesn't have to pay for this marketing. So the problem we're trying to solve is how much of a discount should we be giving the students? And we agreed upon giving a discount to their students opposed to you giving a kickback to the business, because that just further incentivizes the student signing on with you. So let's do the math. So the math that we're going to do is called labor cost margins. And essentially what this is it would be the cost of the DMer, the cost of the assistant coach, the cost of the closer. And in this particular circumstance for Kim, it's also going to be the cost of the kickback as well. You add up the sum of that, and then you divide that by the total cost of your package, right? So in this case, we're going to take the average package that Kim sells that I believe is a 6-month package. And ideally we want our labor cost margins to be 70% or above. And the reason being is because obviously this doesn't factor in the rest of the business margins. And if we want our business margins to be above 55%, really in between 55 and 65%, this gives us the necessary cushion to do that. So let's break down your numbers. Talk me through the math that you've done thus far.
Okay, so DMer cost for commission is $75.
Okay, and in this case, there is a DMer in this circumstance or no?
No, that's where I'm getting a little bit confused.
Okay, cool. So we don't need to add that one.
Okay, because I wasn't sure, because we briefly talked about this yesterday, and I wasn't sure, because you also put in the potential future closer, which
we should do that.
Will apply once I have a closer, but the DMer is not in this at all.
We could do with closer and without closer. I want to run the numbers with the closer because, one day you're going to have a closer.
Great. Soon, hopefully.
Let's do with closer first. So the cost of the assistant coach is going to be what?
$450 for the length of 6 months.
Cool. All right. And then what did you figure for the closer? 8%?
Yeah, that's what you told me.
8% of what? How much is it? 2,000?
$21.42.
What do we get for the commission there?
Which is $171.
171, yeah. cool. All right. And then the only other one we have to factor in here, because there's not going to be the DMer, is the kickback. So the kickback, we decided around 100 numbers, right? Or $100.
Right.
All right, cool. So let's see what that is. 171 plus 100 plus 450. Cool. All right, so that equals 721. And we take 721, we divide that by 2,000.
2142, just to be specific. Divided by
2142.
Yeah.
721 divided by 2142. All right, cool. So that gets you 33%. I see where you messed up. You have to take that and subtract it by 100. So you have to, this is 2142, right? And that equals 30, we'll round up, 34%. You have to go 100 minus 34, and that gets you the actual margin. So the actual margin is 100 minus 34. It's actually 66. That's what that is.
So why do we do 100 minus?
Because
30?
we're trying to find what is the value of 721 relative to 2141. So $721 is 66% of 2141.
Gotcha. So this would mean with a closer, $100 kickback to give to the gym is appropriate, right? Because you said as long as it's over 60%.
I said, yeah, most ideal situations, 70%, but my like last ditch would be like over 65%. So you're teeter-tottering. Let's see what $75 would look like. Hold on. 450 plus 171 plus 75. So I guess we could just take 721 minus 25. That's 696 divided by 214. 32, 33, 100 minus 32.5. So that gets you to 67.5. So I mean, it gets you an extra 1.5%. So then the question becomes, what do you value more? Giving, or what do you think provides your business more value? Giving them $100 off, and but that could potentially increase sales because they view that as more valuable, or you saving $25. And I don't think there's any right or wrong answer here. I guess another, go ahead.
I want whatever is going to increase my chances of closing the call.
Cool. Okay. So then probably, $100 off. I mean, the last question I was going to ask, I mean, you kind of already answered the question, but the last question I was going to ask is, do we think $75 is enough incentive that they're like, that increases your closing rates to like 70, 80% for these people in particular? Or do we think that extra $25 is really going to significantly increase the closing percentage?
I don't know. You tell me.
$100 sounds better than 75. I mean, the only way to really know would be you test. And the way that you would test is like the first 30 days, I would run it with the lower number, the 75, and I'll get your closing percentage. And then the next 30 days, I would, if you don't like the closing percentage, like let's say it's less than 50%, then I would just immediately jump to the 100. But if you run it for the next 30 days and you have like 70 to 80% closing percentage with these people, I think you just stay at 75.
Okay.
All right, cool. So we solved that problem. Let's do it. Let's do it without the closer, because that number was with the closer.
Yeah.
So without the closer, it's 450 plus 75 is 525 divided by 2141. Yeah, 75% without the closer. So you're in the clear without the closer.
So without the, I mean, do you think I should, well, I'd also
you wouldn't want to start them at 100 now and then drop it to 75. Yeah. I knew you were going with that. Keep it. That's why I said test 75 first.
It's also tough too, because this is a different clientele from my ideal client. So I did a call yesterday with someone from the gym that I met through the nutrition seminar. And there's two bonuses to that. One, they already get to know me, like me, trust me, because they see me in the gym all the time and they talk to me and they can come see that I'm a real person. Yeah. And I just feel like with this type of clientele, it's like, they're the type of clientele where they already have their mind pretty much made up once they come to the call.
What do you mean in a positive direction, meaning they
In a
want
positive direction? Yeah, because they have very clear-cut goals. Versus my ideal client, it's kind of like I have to talk them into like believing in themselves and investing in themselves. Well, this side of clientele, like they already invested in themselves coming to the gym.
Right. And you're seeing these people, and you're also getting the vote of confidence from the affiliate company themselves.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, they should view the extra $75 as just like a gift, like a donation, on top of all the other easy built-in sales mechanisms.
So you agree that it's better to do $75 off for the client versus giving $75 as a kickback to the gym?
I do, because I think that increases sales. And in the gym, and the reason I think that's a good idea is because the gym suggested it. If the gym said, I want a kickback, then I would probably have a different view, because then that tells me they don't feel comfortable passing you the clients unless they're profiting from it. But they feel comfortable enough to not profit from it and just make their clients happy.
Yeah, because I'm also providing value and doing free things for them on the side, like the nutrition center.
Well. Yeah, so you're good.
It's a very, what's that word? Because we compliment, we feed.
Synchronistic.
There you go.
Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Oh, I totally drew a blank. They trust you. I forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, I forget. Whatever.
It's okay. I do that all the time.
Yeah, it happens. All right, so we solved this problem. What other problems do we need to solve?
I don't know if it's a problem you can help me with. Just learn to be a manager, man.
Whew. I can definitely help you with that. What in particular?
So the way everything happened for me, I hired a coach first and then a DMer. Mm-hmm. And I'm a little bit glad that I did that, because I feel like the DMer training and just it's a lot of work, and it's so hard for me to wrap my head around all of this is my fault, like the end of day reports, because I never did any of that when I was doing DMing. Like I kept the ongoing tallies, but like there's so much to like track, and it's like I have less time now than I ever did before.
Yeah, managing is a beast. Have you gone through, it sounds like you've gone through the how to manage a DMer module. Have you gone through the new overall management module?
Yes, and it's gold. I think I have like 2 or 3 left that I haven't watched, but yeah, I really dove into that last week, and it's good stuff. It's just a matter of,
you're a good student. Okay, so I'll try to make this as simple as possible. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding your question first. So it sounds like your question is, Chad, how do I organize my day to make sure I'm checking off all the boxes as a manager, meaning looking at all the docs, looking at all the things, making sure they're doing all that. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, love it. Let me share my screen then. Okay, so task sheets have saved our life. So mine doesn't quite look like what yours should look like. I would say pages is probably more along the lines of what yours should look like. So the way that we have her sectioned out is we have daily repeat tasks, leadership tasks, which would be more along the lines of management, and then the projects that she's working on. So obviously this is going to be nuanced to NLCA, but what you should do is you should create tasks for the things that you have to check in on. So she manages a fuck ton of people. I think we're at like a 30-person team now. So we've kind of condensed it into just beginning of the day, middle of the day, and end of the day check-ins with the people she needs to check in with. But what this was previous to that point is it would be like, all right, at the end of the day, make sure you check this tracker, check this tracker, check this tracker. So what I would do is I would take time today and I would sit down and I would say, all right, at the end of my day, you can either do it at the end of the day or the beginning of the day. I prefer, we call these ensure tasks, by the way, like ensuring things happen. I prefer to do all my ensures in the morning. That's just when my brain's the cleanest. Paige likes to do all this at like 12 o'clock at night, which I don't understand. But getting to my point is I would spend time today. I'd write down all the things you need to quote unquote ensure, and I would just put it on a checklist like this. And at the end of the day, you could just mark it done.
So I don't have Monday.com. I did create an account with Asana a long time ago, the free version. With 2 employees, I mean, my business isn't massive. By no means am I like one of the most successful mastery students. But at what point do you think that this would benefit me, like a management type.
I think you can do this. We used Google Sheets until we were a 7-figure business using Google Sheets. So you could just do this on a Google Sheet. Like you just have on the left-hand side at the top of the Google Sheet, it would say tasks. And then it would just be a row of tasks. And then on the right-hand side, it could be like done or working on. And then you just like fill in the blank. I don't think it needs to be like sexy like this.
Right.
And then like I'll talk about this in the leadership module that I'm actually recording today, but just like future pacing out what this goes into. This is called our leader focus doc. And basically each department has like their focuses for the week. So at the beginning of the week, we come in here, we meaning me and Paige, and we kind of map out what each department's going to look like week in and week out. And then the department heads come in here and they see all the tasks and then they know what to do. And basically this is how we organize the company from that standpoint, is we just section it out into departments and what they need to focus on. But for you right now, it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a mess. I think you just get
doing everything.
Yeah, you're in that stage. I mean, honestly, companies are really in that stage until they're like an 8-figure company and they're like much more structured and corporate-y. But honestly, you don't really want to be that. But yeah, my point is you should sit down today. You should write down all the trackers you need to check. And instead of trying to remember it in your brain, get it on paper. And then at the end of the day, just check the box. All management is the difference between leadership and management is just systems. Good managers just follow systems. Good leaders follow morals and ethics and values, but good managers just follow a system. So all you have to do is get that system on paper and make sure you're following it.
And I think that's my problem. Like, I think I'm a good leader, but my systems suck. Which eventually is going to affect my leadership because I'm going to be all over the place and unorganized and things are going to fall through the cracks. And that just further makes me a terrible manager, which is like,
you're the chief accountability officer. That's your role right now. And the only way to hold people accountable is to know what they're supposed to do. The only way to know what they're supposed to do is have it on paper.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's going to be really helpful. I'll just add that to my to-do list of all the other stuff that I have to do.
Bring that one to the top.
Okay. That's and important. I think that's where I've had the biggest struggle too. Like comparing just, 6 months ago when I first started with the mastery program, I was still working full time as a nurse practitioner. And I felt more structured then because I had very minimal time and I felt like I was able to better prioritize. And I feel like ever since I've left my career, I've just really struggled with prioritizing what is the most important. So I think I just need to get back to that. Like this will be my priority today, I promise.
Yeah, for you, it's management, sales, marketing, client delivery. That's it. Yeah. Before, when you were in apprenticeship, you went straight to mastery, right?
I did. I probably should have done apprenticeship, but that's okay because I made it work.
All right, cool. Well, let's pretend you did apprenticeship. In apprenticeship, the only things that we have our students focus on is sales, marketing, client delivery. As you get into mastery, you just add a layer, and it's just management. So those are, when you look at your task sheet for the day, you need to check the box. Did I move the needle forward for sales? Did I move it forward for marketing? Did I move it forward for the clients? Did I move it forward for management? Is there any tasks on here that don't fall under those buckets? Great. I should outsource those to somebody else. That's the way that you should view your day.
I do have a random question for you. My DMer that I just hired is wanting to work more hours. I'm starting her at 20 hours just because depending on how good she is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with closing calls. I'm like one of those people, like I'd rather go low and slow and slowly build. Like I don't need to be a millionaire tomorrow. I gave myself till 2026 and I think I'm going to hit it.
I think good.
But she was previously doing something similar with another girl, but she was doing it like on the client side that were already clients and checking in on clients that were like ghosting and not following through. She also did content. And what are your thoughts on like double dipping on something like that? If it's the same hourly wage, or should I just keep her for what she is as a DMer versus like giving her 20 hours a week as a DMer and then adding on hours for like content creation, marketing, things of that sort?
Yeah. I mean, my rough guidelines around stuff like this is when you're kind of in the the beginning phases of building your business, it's okay to have people be more generalist, if you will, like doing multiple different roles. But
Yeah.
as your company grows, you should definitely have more specialists and more people focusing on one particular task. And my fear is if I tell you that, yeah, she could be a generalist now, I feel like that might inhibit when we need her to be a specialist and when we need her to focus more on the DMs. So my question, building off of that, would be, what are you trying to offload? Like, what marketing aspects are you trying to offload?
All of it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Just making graphics and remembering to post, even though like I love doing that, I feel like especially now when I'm really trying to focus on being a good manager, being a leader in the business, keeping all of these tasks and things organized,
Yeah.
the marketing, like
Is
I
this
remember
for, sorry, is this for your company Instagram or your Instagram, or what's it for?
like for my, well, like my business page and my personal, like just across all the platforms, keeping them active and interacting and things of that sort.
Cool. How many does she have to make a week?
I mean, my assistant coach, the agreement is she posts one graphic a week, and she's great in my Facebook group, which is like 400 people in my warm market. So that's great. But it'd be nice to have someone posting at least 2 to 3 times a week on my other platforms. Because what I'll usually do is whatever I post on Facebook, I share it to Instagram usually, and like
Okay.
tweak it.
So it sounds like she needs to make 3 graphics a week for you. Is that correct? How long do you think that would take her? 30 minutes a piece, an hour and a half a week,
Yeah, it's not much.
90 minutes. Cool. So what I would do is I would pay her, if it's 30 minutes, you're paying her $10 an hour. Maybe just pay her $20 a graphic and just say, hey, you're going to make 3 graphics a week. I'm going to pay you $20 a graphic. So it's 20, 40, $60 a week. But then here comes the leadership part. All right. So you're going to say, this will be temporary. I need help on this right now so that I can shift my focus to this, this, and this. However, my long-term vision for you is that you will become a full-time salesperson and not a full-time marketer. I just need your help right now. Does this sound good? Yes. Great. That way you've set the expectation correctly.
I like that.
Yeah. And you can, if you don't feel good about the $20, you can figure out another number. You can stick with the $10 an hour. I just think it should be between 10 and $20 per graphic.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to kill myself in my budget because I'm already not taking a huge paycheck right now.
Yeah, give her $10 then. That's fine.
Okay.
It takes 30 minutes. That's her hourly rate. So that means you're kind of paying her double per hour there.
Yeah, because I mean, if I'm giving her the information to make the graphic, it really doesn't take much time to put it together.
Cool. Let's do that then. $10 a graphic, $30 a week. I'm sure she'll take it.
Okay.
Boom. What else you got? I'll do one more.
Those were my big things. I'm sure I'll think of something as soon as we get off this call, but I don't think I have anything else right now, like any pressing questions or issues. I'm just doing the work.
Doing the boring work. We love it.
Doing to coach clients. I'll be so glad when some of my clients graduate.
Do you feel clear on your next steps?
Yeah. I mean, because I literally just hired my DMer last week.
Okay.
So for now, it's just starting her at 20 hours, getting her good, getting her consistent, and then slowly increasing her to full time before I hire that second one. Although I don't know what's going to come first, another closer or another coach, but my coach still has plenty of roster spots. So
Okay.
at least to.
Well, let's finish this with getting you really clear on your next 3 moves. So it sounds like move 1 is, get comfortable on the management of your 20 hours with the current DMer.
Yeah.
It sounds like move 2 is increase that person to 40 hours. Move 3, you said that how many roster spots does your assistant coach have?
If I cap her out, it's she has like 7. She has 7 clients now. So like,
Okay, cool. And what's your cap?
70.
Her cap will be 70. Oh, cool. How many clients are you guys signing a week?
Right now it's 1. That's about to change.
All right, cool. So
Ideally 4. The goal is to sign 4 new clients a week.
all right, cool. So let's just cut that in half. Let's say you do 2. Yeah, you got plenty of time. You don't need an assistant coach. Even if you did 4, you'd have plenty of time. So then the move there is, how soon are you looking to get rid of closing calls? Because the kind of the guideline for that is once you start having closing calls that are being booked, 48, 72, 96 hours out. And the reason they're being booked that far out is because you literally don't have another inch in your calendar to give. That would be the trigger for getting a closer. And it sounds like that might happen before the assistant coach.
48 to 72 hours because my schedule is maxed out, is what you're saying?
Correct. Yep. Not because that's when the calls are being booked, but because you like literally couldn't take like one more call in your day. And that's been like consistent, that's not just like 1 or 2 days. Like that's like a consistent problem for weeks.
So my hope is to be there by the end of the next 3 months.
Okay, cool. I think that's fair.
If not sooner, we'll see. Is that a good goal? Like within 3 months, if I just hired my first DMer?
No, I think that's a good goal. The one thing I'm pondering on right now is we'll see how volume is with this current DMer. But if this current DMer crushes, your 90-day estimate might be correct. If this current DMer is good, but isn't crushing, you might need a second DMer to get to that point where you need a closer. But obviously,
even if I've capped out her 40 hours, well, I guess that all depends on how good she is.
Yeah, it really depends on how good she is. And like I said, we're kind of speaking hypotheticals here.
Yeah, I have no idea how she's going to do. I mean, she's really good with words.
It seems like you have a good vibe about her, so that's a positive.
Yeah. We have similar thought process. She comes from a medical background, which helps with the whole gut health side of things to get people on calls. So
yeah, I think the most important thing for you to focus right now on is obviously continue booking the calls and the marketing and the clients. But really, in addition to that, it's get comfortable with the management systems. Get everything down on paper that you're supposed to do. For the DM manager role, the 5 C's that I lay out at the end of that module, get that on paper. Get checking the EODs on paper. Get how many times you have to check in on their conversations on paper. Just get all that on paper and start getting in a consistent flow with that.
Yeah. And that's what the plan is these next couple of weeks. Now that she's on, I'm shadowing her today, and then she's on her own, and
perfect.
Do the damn thing.
And you're golden. You're golden. Anything else I could do?
No, this is amazing. I'm so glad I did this.
Yes, this is going to be my the new thing I want to do like every other week on my podcast is just like get a client on and just shoot the shit and answer questions.
Super helpful.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed either the YouTube video or the podcast. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know how you liked it. If you guys are watching on podcast, the only way podcasts really grow is through you telling your friends. All right. And the fastest and the quickest and the easiest way to tell your friend is to take a screenshot of the podcast, post it on your story, tag me up, let me know that you were listening, and I would greatly appreciate that. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace.